I feel stuck and I don't get it. I know better than to be stuck. And yet here I am stuck. It's the best word I can play for it. I'm happy in my life. I mean, generally I'm happy. I love my family. I love my husband. I love my home. It's a beautiful house, la, 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 la. I've done good in my life. But here I am. I find myself at the rotten old age of facing the big 5-0 around the corner. And I feel restless. I feel annoyed. I feel angry. I feel frustrated. And I don't get why. I've been reading and studying spirituality and self-help and coaching and blah, blah, blah forever. Forever. I think I read my first Tony Robbins when I was 14 or something like that. I know this, and yet I know all this stuff. I teach this stuff. I live this stuff. I breathe this stuff. I know it. Then why the heck am I feeling so freaking stuck? I'm reminded when I was young and I was going through my teenage angst and I was just upset with the world and angry with the world and everything else. And I remember the thought that came to me one day. And it really changed my entire perspective on the world. And it was like one day I woke up and I went, fuck it. This is just a game. All of life is just a game. Who I really am is this divine being, cosmic being that is just beautiful light, full of love. And I've decided to play a game character. I'm a character in a game. That's it. The game is life. And you can be whatever you want. You can be the villain. You can be the hero. You can be you can put on a monocle and a top hat and be, the banker. You can be whatever you want. Because it's all just a game. Now, that was a great perspective from a teenager, but I'm not a teenager anymore. No, I'm a 40-something, and I've raised 2 kids. I'm married. I've been married. I've been with my husband, actually, as long as I was in my life without being with him, right? You know what I'm saying? We've been together as long as we were ever apart. So at this point, I find myself rolling around the idea, is life still a game? I lost that perspective because life became so much more meaningful, so much more engaged. My heart expanded and I have these people in my life and I have these people that I'm responsible for. I'm responsible to my kids. I'm responsible for everything that every aspect of their life I've been responsible for almost 20 years now. And I've also been responsible to my husband as being his partner in life. And that's a very deep and serious role to play. And it's not a role that you choose to play just frivolously like it's a game, because your heart is engaged. You love these people beyond something that you can ever understand. The experience of living and being committed and being accountable for your actions because of those precious people that are in my life. Every action, every thought, every do that I do affects them. And just like theirs affects me. So I can't look at life and say, it's just a game. Play, do whatever you want, right? It's just a game. What does it all matter? That's a funny thing. That's a teenage viewpoint. It's also a very low spiritual viewpoint. It's very low, I don't know, limited viewpoint of who we are. We're spiritual, divine, cosmic beings that have decided to incarnate here in this third dimensional physical life, the most densest existence a soul can choose in the universe, at least as far as we can comprehend, it is. Third dimension, it's density. Everything that happens in the third dimension, in this physical realm, has an impact that reverberates throughout all the other levels, all the other dimensions, all the other space and time. It sends out a vibration, just like when you throw a pebble in the water and the ripples cascade out across the pond. That is what every physical action does. I get that. So then why am I stuck? Because I got it, right? That sounds all really intelligent. Ooh, I know what I'm doing. Yay, I get the cosmic game. The whole cosmic story, I get it. But why am I feeling stuck? Why am I feeling so restless? Yeah, as I'm talking about this, we're in the middle of the COVID pandemic. And of course, there's lots going on around that. But this is beyond. The feeling I'm feeling inside is not the pressure. It's not of the outside world. It's not. Yes, I understand that in the cosmics, in the energetic space around me, everywhere I go, that there's fear vibrations, there's anger vibrations, there's frustration vibrations all around, because that's the state that most of the globe is in, is fear. And they're acting from fear. And those are absolutely the vibrations, as we said, those are the pebbles being thrown into the lake. Fear, anger, frustration. So yeah, I'm sure that's playing into how I feel. But this feeling of being stuck, it's coming from deep inside. Deep, deep, deep inside of me. It's at the core of who I am. I am frustrated. I don't feel motivated. I've lost motivation. I've lost direction. My kids are older now. I'm not worried about, if I don't feel like making dinner, they usually figure out how to feed themselves. They all know how to cook. They can handle it. Right? If I want to go out with my friends, I can go out with my friends. I don't have to worry about babysitters or making sure I coordinate with my husband or grant my parents or anything else. I don't actually have to ask permission anymore. Isn't that funny? But I still feel stuck. I have to figure out how to move past feeling stuck. So then I go, okay, well, all right. Well, if this was a client of mine and they were talking to me and they were feeling stuck, what would I say to them? All right, so let's put on my hat here, work hat. What would I say? Find your passion. Find your purpose. Figure out what the next phase of your life is going to be. What's the vision you want for you and your husband after the kids have left the house? Where are you going? That's what I would be saying. And I would help my clients work through this, and we would talk about what, their feelings inside and everything else. And all that usually works. That's usually the first stage you go through. And most of the time that works. I'll go up into the cosmos. I'll go up into the Akashic records, and I'll pull out their soul wisdom, and I'll be like, you're designed to operate this way. These are the gifts that have been given to you. by divine spirit. How would you like to play with them in this life? And that often gets people moving forward even more. And then, they fall into stuck again because it's, what am I going to do next? I don't know how to do that. I can't do that. Oh no, all the negative ants come up, right? Automatic negative thoughts. I can't do that. I can't do my passion. I say, yes, you can. You don't have to do the entire vision today. All you have to do is figure out what you can do today. So take that first little step. Boop. What can you do? Can you make a drawing of the dream home? Can you get a blueprint done of the dream home? Can you look for a new job? Can you reach out to contacts, people that you know, friends, family, and say, I want this in my life. Let me know if you can help me get this. Start asking people. Start getting out there. See, I get it. I know how to do this. I've done it before. Done it lots of times in my life. I remember in my 20s, oh my gosh, my 20s, when my husband and I first got together and we were building a business together in graphic and web design. And, the things that we did was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I remember walking into businesses and selling them and like, what do you want? Here's the technology. We can do it for you. Let's make your business thrive on this new fantastic thing called the internet. And they would tell me what they do. And I'd go, yep, we can do that. We can do that. We can do that. And then I'd go home and I'd look at my husband and go, can we do that? And he goes, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. And we did. We figured it out. And we did it. So do it again, right? What do I want? I know I got the ability to do this. Yeah. You know what I really want to do? I want a freaking nap. I start thinking about all this stuff. I start thinking about, all right, what's my purpose? How am I designed? What do I feel like? What's my passion? And you know what I feel? I feel tired. I feel exhausted. Even as I say that, I can feel the tears push the back of my eyes. I can feel the shake of my voice as I say that. I feel tired. And then immediately that follows that is I feel betrayed. I'm like, what the hell? Why do I feel betrayed? That's a weird one. I feel betrayed by life. I guess the characters in my life. Me. I feel betrayed by me. Life wasn't supposed to be like, I don't know what it was supposed to be, but I feel like where I originally, the vision I had for myself, that young person that had that drive and that go, that pushed at my career, had the guts to just walk in and say, yeah, I'll do that, without a clue how I was going to do it. I feel like that person somehow got swallowed up by being a wife, by being a mom, by being a daughter, by being a sister. I feel like I got swallowed up in that, and I also feel at the same time, I failed at it all. Yeah. If I get honest with myself, I feel like I failed. I know better than that. I know better than to say that I failed. I mean, how can I say I failed? I have a beautiful home. I have beautiful kids. I have a wonderful, loving husband. I live close to my parents. I see them on a regular basis. I love my in-laws. Okay, I don't have the best relationship with my siblings, but I'm okay with that too. Hell, for the lack of relationship that I have with my siblings, I have with my friend. And that's okay. I'm good with that. You're right. I have a good life. So why do I feel like I failed? Maybe it's forgiveness. Yeah, it is forgiveness. I got to forgive myself for the mistakes that I made. And you're right, I do. Because regardless of how hard I tried, regardless of how much I read, regardless of how much I knew better, I still did a lot of things wrong. A lot. Ooh, I did a lot. And when I think back to them, I think some of those moments when I was just crazy. Holy smokes. I think I went off the crazy train long ago. I think being a mother pushes you to the brink of insanity. The things that mothers will do is phenomenal. And it's funny, I can remember so many times being in one of these insane mother moments that only a child can push you to. And it's almost like an out-of-body experience. I'm looking at myself going, you've lost it. This woman's insane. But nope, there I am. There I am. Doing whatever bizarre thing I have done. Feeling raw. Oh my gosh, having kids makes you feel raw. Labor. Oh, that boils you down to nothing, doesn't it? I don't know. I know that labor is this interesting thing. On one side, so many women, oh, I feel so empowered after the moment of giving life to another person and everything. And it's so beautiful. I feel like such a goddess. I felt exhausted. I felt worn out. I felt raw. I felt like there had been way too many hands on my body, way too many things going on near my body. I used to have nightmares when I was pregnant that I was there was an alien in my stomach and then the alien was bursting out. Well, that's pretty much how I felt during labor, is that alien was coming out. I know. Most women don't talk about that. But I bet you there's a few of you out there that feel that way. It was raw. But I valued that raw because that rawness, I believe, is the essence of life. That's the reason we're in life. Is to feel, to have those extremes of emotion, have those extremes of experience. Those are the riches of life, the highs, the lows, the high again, that weird plane in the middle. That's neither high nor low. It's just that every day I get up. I get all that, but it's knowing that. See, I know all this stuff, right? Then why do I feel stuck right now? Right now I feel stuck. I feel frustrated and I feel lost. What is next for me? What is next for me? I'm not sure. Maybe a nap. See, I keep going back to that being tired. Therapy. Therapy always helps. Talking it out right here, I feel better. I feel a lot better. Talking about that betrayal of myself. Forgiving myself for all the failures. It's time for me to stop beating myself up for those failures, to stop telling myself this story of the struggles of my life and how I overcame them, how I stood in the face of so much struggle. It's time for me to stop those stories because they're not who I am. They were a part of who I am. But when I keep repeating those stories, I leave myself stuck. And I create divides. When I remember all the fights, all the insanity, all the struggles that went on between my husband and I, it pulls up all that anger that I have about them. But the reality is, he was in his own world being a father, dealing with all the issues and that come with being a father, the social pressures. He's now responsible for a wife and kids. He's got to hold down a job. He's got to make sure there's money for the food that's on the table. And I know that's old-fashioned, but you know what? We're still running on old-fashioned paradigms out there. We're breaking them all the time. One of my best friends when my kids were little was a man who was a stay-at-home dad. So yeah, we're breaking those. And my husband and I have always been a team. But we still have those programs in us, right? We still have the programs that say, I'm the mom. I'm supposed to have the dinner on the table. He's the dad. He's supposed to provide the money, right? We have those playing in the back of our minds, whether or not we play them out, whether or not that's how our house works, doesn't matter. They're still held in our society, and we're still pushed up against them. And those societal programs help form that story that you tell yourself, right? I went against the society norms. I went against the programming. Did I succeed? Did I fail? No, I struggled. There were moments I succeeded, moments that I failed because I went against the program. Often I wish I didn't. Well, often I wish I had just followed the program. It was a lot easier. But that's the funny thing. When we're spiritual beings and we start evolving and we get bigger awareness that we are these divine cosmic beings and we can create the lives that we want and we don't have to play these old roles of survival. So, struggle, survival of the fittest, conquer, power, all important. No. When we become spiritually aware of our greatness, of our divinity, that we are actually in physical form, and we have we start going, hey, I want to tap into that. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. When we get to that point and we realize that the entire world is interconnected, we realize that every stone cast into the pond creates a ripple that goes right across the pond. We realize that every action that we take in the physical form sends out a ripple and affects everything around us. And just as our actions affect everyone else, their actions affect us. So it's not about learning how to put up walls. You can build walls, you can barricade, protect yourself from everybody else's ripples, right? But it's actually not, that's kind of a physical third dimensional. That's a very low vibrational thinking to put up a wall to stop being affected by everybody else's ripples. The higher vibrational thinking is the fifth dimensional vibrational thinking is to realize that those ripples can hit you. They can come right by you, but they don't have to affect you. Okay? They don't have to affect you. They can just go right around you and carry on. If you look at the stick in the pond, you look at the boulder in the pond, you look at a stump in the pond, you even look at the frog sitting on the lily pad in the pond, that ripple doesn't affect them. They just watch it. It's just a little woohoo. They might get a little wave, a little up and down, right? Little ups and downs of life, the ripples. They just carry on their business. The bigger, obviously, the bigger the impact, the bigger the wave, the bigger the cause of effect. But they still just take it in stride. They don't build a wall in fear of that big wave coming. No, they just keep riding out whatever does come. They just keep going with whatever the wave is, the highs, the lows, carrying on with their mission in life, which is to experience where they are. That's what we are doing. That's all we're doing. I guess the feeling of stuck comes from trying to create a wall, maybe. Trying to stop the ripples. Or maybe we're trying to switch ponds. That could be. Maybe we don't know which pond to go to. I don't know. What do I want next? One of the other good questions to ask is, what lights me up? What is my passion? What lights me up? What makes me happy? And I actually feel so tired and stuck that I can't answer that. I think I've forgotten what lights me up. I know that when I talk to my clients and I'm working with them and I'm helping them through whatever issues they're dealing with, I feel really good. And I actually get energy. The more clients I work with in a week, the more hyper I get, the more energy I get. And I start dancing around and everything, and I go super speed. And then everybody in my family, in my house, my husband, my kids and everything, they look at me and go, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Nothing's wrong with me. I'm getting things done. I'm moving. I'm doing, right? This is great. Life is happening around me. Woo-hoo. I'm doing good." And they all look at me and go, "Wow, you need to calm down, Mom. Just take it easy, honey. Relax. Slow down." I don't want to slow down. I don't want to slow down. I like what I do. I like what I do a lot. There you go. My ramblings have full circled me back to, what do I like to do? I like to help people. I like to help people see their own breakthroughs in their life. I like helping people find their inner strength and their inner guidance and understand themselves as souls having a human experience. I like helping people create their dreams. Oh my gosh. I have never, ever understood why people try and knock down those who are succeeding. It makes no sense to me. The more successful somebody is, especially if they're doing it from a good-hearted place, the more good they can do in this world. When someone is on fire with passion and they are succeeding at their goals, whatever that goal is, doesn't matter. When they are succeeding at it, even if it is something that's totally not aligned to what you would like, something you totally don't understand, you look at that person and they are engaging their passion and they are succeeding. The world is going their way. Everything's coming together for them. I'm like, yeah, you get it. You go for it. Because every time you do, your light shines brighter, and man, does it feel good to see you. Man, does it feel good to stand in that light and see you shining bright in your passion, in your soul expression. That lights me up. Even as I'm talking now, I went from being very calm and slow and to, yeah, no, I like that. I really like that. You're right. There's my passion. I love being around people who are lit up. And if I had a hand in helping with their journey to that passionate state that they're in, then wow, that makes me light up. And I get excited. And then I get excited because they're succeeding. I like to help people succeed in their life. There you go. I just unstuck myself. My ramblings around and around, I unstuck myself. How do I get past the blah? I stopped and I looked and I thought, what gives me energy? Now, I wouldn't stop and say, that's what makes me happy. That's an interesting concept. It's not necessarily what makes me happy, but it is what makes me energetic. It makes me feel taller, stronger, powerful. Why? I stand taller, I talk taller, I'm faster, I got more energy going in my body. I get more things done. When I think about the ability to help somebody else succeed, I get excited. I get really excited. That's my passion. And I wouldn't say that it makes me happy, but it certainly lifts me out of the blahs. Because you know what? When I'm working with people, I'm not always happy. I hear some really sad, horrible stories. There are some serious struggles that people are going through. The things that my clients have told me, my God, it breaks my heart. There has been many times over the years working with the Akashic Records and healing, helping people heal their past lives, their current life issues, moving past their programs, moving past their abuses, the negative thoughts, all of that. There's so many times where I've just said, I got to take some time off. I can't hear these tragedies anymore. I can't. Because some of the stories that humanity is living are horrifying. Oh, I have here in my nice, first world problem. Here I am in my luxury little life where everybody's fed, everybody's employed. That's generally my life. And, most people I know are upset when they can't go out for dinner. That's their big thing, right? That's what upsets them. I gotta go out for dinner. Oh crap, I can't go for dinner tonight. That's their big letdown in the week. It's not, gee, I don't have enough food to buy. I don't have enough money to buy food. Put on the table. That's not the world I'm living in. Nobody I know in my world has that problem. But you know what a lot of these people, my clients, are dealing with, or I've dealt with anyhow in my client with them, a lot of abuse, sexual abuse, obviously, spousal abuse, obviously. Dealt with a few cults, people who've escaped from cults. People who have lost their children at young ages, at any age really. I've dealt with that. Loss of loved ones. Loss of loved ones isn't that hard for me to deal with because I do have that soul's perspective. But there is something that just boils down to just being wrong about this world and is so hard to understand in this physical dimension, and that is the loss of a child or the abuse of a child. But it's happening. It's happening all around us. There's a lot of horrors happening in our world, and there's a lot of people that you are interacting with every day that have actually lived through it. I remember talking to one woman. Some of the stuff that she had to deal with, refugees is what it would fall under, is dealing with it, is helping refugees heal from their past. So one of my clients, she grew up in, where was it now? Iran, maybe? Iraq, something like that. And anyhow, it was a war-torn country. And she grew up with bombs, air raids, gunfire, terror that we can't even imagine in the first world living through. And it was so interesting because as we unlayered everything and discovered, healed a lot of the trauma and the fear that she lived through, we also brought out a different story from her, and she and discovered her passions. So she found her passion in graphic design, art, the art, true artist, not just somebody who understood the program, but somebody who was a true artist. And she really loved doing graphic design for advertising products. And color was a big thing because where she grew up, there wasn't a lot of color and there was a lot of fear, but her parents, and there's a bunker under her house. And that's where, when there was, the sirens went off or there was anything to the happening, that's where she would hide. Sometimes with her parents, sometimes with her siblings, sometimes, by herself. She was the only one that made it in there. But her parents kept crayons and paper. And that's what she would do. She would spend a lot of time in this bunker under her house, in this battlefield above it, coloring. And then her family managed to get out from that country and moved to Canada. They moved actually to North Vancouver. And she was about 12, I believe, when she moved here. And she said the biggest impact she remembers is walking into a grocery store. And to this day, it is one of her favoriteest things to do, is to walk into a grocery store. She says, because they are so colorful. There is so much color. There is so much abundance, so much beauty, so much creativity right there in the grocery store. And when we discovered that being her story, every time she walks into a grocery store, she is inspired. She's inspired by all the color, the creativity, the beauty, the way that the vegetables are stacked, the design of the packages, the design of, the way everything is laid out, the advertising on the walls, down the aisles, all the people in the different attire, the different expressions on their faces. All of it was beauty. She saw it all as incredible beauty and abundance. What a beautiful story. And that reminded her of abundance. And every single day, her life got better. And every single day, every time she walks into a grocery store, it reminds her of the abundance that is all around her. And I'll tell you, her sharing that journey with her reminded me. It actually brought it out to me that when I look around, as simple as the grocery store, there's abundance. So much. All there for each and every one of us. So I think I've rambled away. And I think I found a little bit more direction how to not be stuck, how to get out of my stuck. I'll recap it for you if you guys didn't pick it up in my rambles. But to get out of stuck is you have to stop and think what lights you up, what gives you energy, not what makes you happy, not what makes you jump out of bed in the morning, but what do you do? Because when you're stuck, nothing makes you jump out of bed in excitement and have energy and purpose and blah, blah, blah. Nothing does. You just feel blah. You feel like taking a nap. But stop and think, what gives you energy? And start looking at the elements of what it is you're doing. What is it about that activity that gives you energy? Energy to live, to do, to be. That is where your purpose is. It's not in the happy. It's in the energy. What lights you up with energy? All right? That was the first thing to figure out what what it is you need to be unstuck. The second thing, and this is not unlike what advertising will tell us to do, that we need to have 3 points to our advertising message. No, I only have 2 for you. 1, where's the energy in your life? What gives you energy? And 2, what can you do today to do more of that? How can you today do more of that? What little action can you do that makes you have more opportunity to do what lights you up, what gives you energy? That's it. That's it. That's how you get unstuck. I guess the third one is do it. Don't just think about it. Do it. Do. So there we go. 1, think about what makes you energetic, what brings you energy, what feels energy for you. And 2, do it. Start doing it. Take action, physical action of actually doing something that starts to create more opportunity. So do an action that creates more opportunity to do what gives you energy. That's it. Well, I feel better. Thanks for enjoying my rant. I hope it helped you. And love you all. And hey, if you want some help, I would be happy to help, because nothing makes me happier than seeing you succeed and being a part of your journey. Even if you know what? I just like seeing people succeed. So go ahead and send me a message on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or email me and tell me what lights you up, what gives you energy. All right? Tell me. I want to know. And that little bit of you telling me what gives you energy is a gift to me. And here I am. I'm asking you to give me a gift. And that is, tell me what lights you up. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. Have a beautiful month. Have a beautiful year. Have a beautiful life. Love you all. Bye-bye.